Have you ever found yourself in a moment where your thoughts are racing, your heart is pounding, and you feel utterly overwhelmed, as if your mind has suddenly detached from the present? It's a common experience, a feeling of being swept away by anxiety, worries, or an intense emotional surge. In those challenging moments, when it feels like your mind is spiraling, there's a powerful and accessible tool you can turn to: grounding techniques. These aren't magic tricks, but rather practical, evidence-informed strategies designed to gently pull you back from the edge, anchoring your attention firmly in the here and now. They act like a mental reset button, helping to calm your nervous system and interrupt that automatic fight or flight response that anxiety so often triggers. Today, we're going to explore 5 simple yet incredibly effective grounding techniques you can use anytime, anywhere, to find a sense of calm and control. Grounding techniques are essentially exercises that redirect your focus from distressing thoughts, memories, or overwhelming emotions back to the physical world around you. Think of it like this: when you're caught in a mental storm, grounding is the sturdy anchor you can drop to prevent yourself from drifting further out to sea. At their core, these techniques work by engaging your senses and actively shifting your attention. This engagement helps to activate your parasympathetic nervous system. That's the part of your brain responsible for relaxation and rest and digest, effectively counteracting the overactivity of your sympathetic nervous system, which kicks in during stress or anxiety. The result? A reduction in stress hormones, a more regulated heart rate, and an increased sense of safety and control. They help us manage intrusive thoughts, reduce the intensity of panic attacks, and even reconnect when we feel disconnected or disoriented. These are vital tools for navigating general anxiety, stress, panic attacks, rumination, and even feelings of sensory overload. Now, let's dive into 5 specific techniques that are widely recognized, highly effective, and incredibly versatile. You don't need any special equipment, just your own awareness and a willingness to try. First up is perhaps the most popular and often recommended, the 5-4-3-2-1 method. This sensory exercise systematically brings your attention to your immediate surroundings. Start by looking around and identifying 5 things you can see. Really notice them: their color, shape, texture, any details. For instance, the dust motes dancing in a sunbeam, the pattern on a wall, or the specific shade of green on a plant. Next, identify 4 things you can feel or touch. This could be the fabric of your clothes against your skin, the texture of the chair you're sitting on, the sensation of your feet on the floor, or the coolness of the air on your face. Then notice 3 things you can hear: the hum of a refrigerator, distant traffic, the sound of your own breathing, or the rustle of leaves outside. Move on to 2 things you can smell, perhaps the faint scent of coffee, your hand soap, or the general aroma of your environment. If you can't smell anything specific, you can simply notice the absence of smell. Finally, identify 1 thing you can taste. This might be the lingering taste of your last meal, a sip of water, or simply the taste inside your mouth. By systematically engaging each of your senses, you interrupt the cycle of anxious thoughts and firmly anchor yourself in the present moment. Our second technique focuses on something we do automatically, but can profoundly influence our state: deep breathing. Simply focusing on the rhythm of your inhales and exhales can regulate your nervous system. Consider the 4-7-8 breathing technique. You would inhale quietly through your nose for a count of 4, hold your breath for a count of 7, and then exhale completely through your mouth, making a whoosh sound for a count of 8. Repeat this cycle 3 or 4 times. Another excellent option is box breathing, where you inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, and hold again for 4. The symmetry of it can be very calming. The key here isn't just taking a deep breath, but consciously engaging with the process of breathing. It slows your heart rate, signals safety to your brain, and creates a physiological shift. For our third technique, we're going to use direct physical sensations to bring ourselves back to reality. One powerful way is to press your feet firmly into the ground. Notice the pressure, the texture beneath your shoes or socks, the connection with the earth. You can also clench your fists tightly for a few seconds, then slowly release them, feeling the tension leave your body. Another effective method is to hold a piece of ice in your hand, noticing the intense cold and how it gradually melts. Or simply putting your hands in cool or warm water can be incredibly grounding, drawing your attention fully to that specific sensory experience. These actions provide immediate, undeniable physical input that pulls your attention away from mental spirals and into the concrete reality of your body. Our fourth category involves engaging your mind with simple, focused tasks that require just enough attention to redirect anxious thoughts, but aren't overwhelming. You could try describing your immediate surroundings in painstaking detail, mentally cataloging everything you see as if you were documenting it for someone else. Or name objects within a specific category. For example, silently list all the blue things you can see, or all the animals you can think of. Counting backward from 100 by threes is another classic, requiring just enough mental effort to occupy your prefrontal cortex. You might also recite familiar poems, song lyrics, or even multiplication tables in your head. The goal here is to give your busy mind a simple, structured task to focus on, gently diverting it from the anxiety loop. Finally, our fifth technique incorporates gentle movement with mindfulness, mindful movement. This could be as simple as taking a brief walk, even just across a room or down a hallway. But the key is to consciously pay attention to every aspect of the experience. Feel the sensation of your feet connecting with the ground, one step after another. Notice the gentle sway of your arms, the sounds around you, the sights you pass. It could also involve gentle stretching, or even just shifting your weight from foot to foot. The intention isn't to get somewhere, but to experience the process of moving and being present in your body, connected to your environment. Now, while these techniques are powerful, it's important to approach them with a clear understanding of what they are and are not. Firstly, grounding techniques are incredibly effective coping strategies, but they are not a standalone cure for anxiety disorders or other mental health conditions. Think of them as first aid for acute distress. They provide temporary relief and are best used as a complement to a broader treatment plan, which might include professional therapy or medication for persistent or severe anxiety. Secondly, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. What works wonders for one person might feel ineffective for another. This means individual experimentation is key. Try different techniques, see which ones resonate with you, and build your own personal toolkit. And thirdly, their effectiveness is often linked to consistent practice, not just acute use. Just like building a muscle, the more you practice these techniques when you're calm, the more readily available and effective they'll be when you truly need them during moments of distress. Don't get discouraged if they don't work immediately without prior familiarization. Lastly, a subtle point. While some techniques might seem like a form of distraction, the ultimate goal of grounding is often not to avoid emotions, but to achieve a non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. It's about acknowledging what you're feeling, then gently redirecting your attention to recenter yourself, rather than using the technique to suppress or ignore difficult feelings entirely. So there you have it, 5 versatile grounding techniques that can serve as your personal anchors when the currents of anxiety threaten to pull you under. From the structured sensory journey of the 5-4-3-2-1 method to the profound simplicity of deep breathing, the tangible reality of physical sensations, the focused calm of mental tasks, and the mindful presence of gentle movement, each offers a unique path back to the present. Remember, these tools are always with you, accessible in any moment, in any place. They empower you to take an active role in managing your emotional state, fostering a greater sense of control and inner peace. I encourage you to explore them, practice them, and discover which ones bring you the most comfort and connection. By integrating these simple practices into your life, you're not just coping with anxiety, you're building resilience and cultivating a deeper, more peaceful relationship with yourself and the world around you.